So, let's just see what happens here when I pop on a surprise live stream and see how many people catch on that I'm here. Hello. I was wondering how long it would take for people to realize I was on. Wow. Hi, everybody. I'm sitting here at home bored because my wife is out of town and I have no car, so I figured, why not? I'll live stream for a little bit. So, hey, everybody. How is everybody doing? You like the title of my live stream. That's good, Lily. So I hope everybody can hear me. But yeah, we'll just check up. Let's see. So Chris, what are you dressing up for as Halloween? I'd love to hear. Or actually, you have to type me in. I don't know if I got the slow chat on there or not. So, hi from Alberta. Oh, cool. Canada. Why not run away? We currently have one car. My second car is broken down, and it costs more to fix it than it's worth. And so I don't know when I'm going to get a second car, so that's why I can't run away. I'm also not exactly in a condition to run. So, Chris, thank you for the prayers for my wife and I. You are very welcome. I keep a long prayer list, and so love doing stuff like that. Who do I like in the World Series? My team's not in the World Series. You can see my hats right back there, the San Francisco Giants. That's who I like. They didn't play very well this year. Going to Canada's Wonderland tomorrow. I am so jealous. I really want to get to Canada at some point. Dressing up as a PhotoPass photographer. That is cool. Love it, Chris. Let's see. I am great. How are you're sushi for Halloween? Oh, I hope you're better than just raw fish. I actually like sushi. Garbage Day, California. What part of California? I am originally from a suburb of Sacramento. My wife is from Southern California, and we met in Santa Cruz at college. So I know all about California. How long did I work at Silver Dollar City? I was there for 3 years. Had a blast. Notice I like a lot of YouTube comments. Basically, I like letting people know that I'm reading the comments and that I'm there poking through. So that's one of the reasons I do it. It's me liking a comment as much as anything is almost me saying, hey, I saw that and that's nice. Thank you for commenting. So that's pretty much why I like so many comments. Let people know I'm paying attention. Worker bees, very cool. Going to be an Asian ghost. See, I'm going to be boring for Halloween. I think I'm wearing my overcoat, and I'll probably put on a hat, and I'll try to do like a private, PI, private detective kind of thing. Ooh. Just left DC after going on Guardians. Very cool. I don't know how that is. I've seen some videos, but I know video never does a ride like that justice. If a person has a service dog, would it be possible to work at Disney World? This is from Cecilia. I honestly don't know. I don't recall seeing anybody working at Disney with a service dog, but I can't say for sure on that. So I'm not really sure. Check with Disney. So, had oral surgery and you're in pain, Kathy. I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better. Kathy's one of my Patreons, so let's see. Did I grow up watching 8 is Enough? Yes, I actually did, and I even know what house that they used for the prop picture. The house that they showed in the TV show was actually really in Sacramento, but then all the interiors were all different. What do I think is the best aero-suspended coaster? Big Bad Wolf was. Loved Big Bad Wolf. Ninja at Six Flags Magic Mountain would be second. Then probably Top Gun, although they've renamed it now at Paramount's Kings Island. The one that's at Cedar Point is probably the worst. We enjoyed them, though. Let's see. Trying to do this Disney College program. Whoa! Somebody just gave me $5. Thank you, Big Steen. I appreciate that. I actually wasn't coming on to start looking for that. I'm just seriously bored. So, Matty Boy, there's your shout out. How'd you do? So, built some parts for the Guardians remodel. Really? That is cool, Big Steen. I'm jealous. That means you got to see behind the scenes and how it all worked, and that would be really cool. So, if you got pictures and stuff, I know it's backstage, so you probably don't, and even if you did, you can't share them, but if you did, I would love to see them. That's cool. Favorite ride at Disney. I actually did a whole video on that Thingly Wiggly. Look for my ride on my top 10 favorite rides at Disney. You can check it out that way. Let's see. Let's see. Maria, I was so bored waiting for my friend to text me back, and this video popped up. That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm like, yay! I got my video for tomorrow pretty much done. It's about to start rendering and everything, and so it's like, hey, I got free time, and I don't have to go to bed early because my wife's not here, so... Hey, Austin. I'm okay. Any park that I haven't visited but want to in the future? That's from Alex. That list is probably about 40 parks long. It's really bad. So, yeah, it'd be hard to say just one. Let's see. Do I prefer park decorations, Halloween or Christmas? I'm a Christmas person. I am generally not a big Halloween person. I like what Disney does for Mickey's Not So Scary, but you're Austin. You're gonna have to kind of take a break there. Again, I'm not a big Halloween person, but I love Christmas. I like what they do with Mickey's Not So Scary. I like what SeaWorld did for Halloween, but that's about it as far as Halloween. I don't go for the scary blood, guts, gore, stuff like that. So if I had a choice, I'll go with Christmas. Let's see. From the LA area, so fascinating to learn about different parks. Okay, so Austin, wow, you really are spamming there. Yep, time out, buddy. Oh, the hand railing. Okay, yeah, big scene. I'd love to see your pictures. That's cool. Thought on Coaster Kids. I am not that familiar with them, so I can't really comment on Coaster Kids. Sorry, Eliza. Do I believe in Bigfoot? Dangerous, you have no idea the irony of that right now. My video coming up tomorrow morning is actually of a place called Bigfoot on the Strip in Branson. And one of the things they do is they take you on excursions to go looking for Bigfoot. I didn't get to go on the excursion, but I do have some video from the rest of it. So watch for that tomorrow morning. Good timing on that question. Let's see. Blues Brothers just a Chicagoan thing? Oh, no, they're everywhere. Let's see. Sarah, how awesome. You're very welcome for teaching about PhotoPass. I hope you enjoy it. I've heard that it has changed quite a bit. A lot of my friends who were PhotoPass photographers are no longer photographers. They don't have some of the freedom that we used to have, but I know a lot of the ones that are still there absolutely love it. So looking forward to seeing you when you're out there. It'd be really neat. It's a fun job. So, thoughts on It's a Small World and Magic Kingdom in Disneyland? Ride it every time I'm there. So, what does SeaWorld do for Halloween? I don't know what they do now, but what they used to do was they had a very kid-friendly trick-or-treat kind of thing. They didn't do anything in the evening. It was all daytime, and the kids would get to make cookies and had other different craft projects and lots of candy. So, not quite as much as you get for Mickey's Not So Scary, but you get a lot of candy. Have I been to Knoebels or Kennywood? I have not been to Kennywood, but I have been to Knoebels. There's a couple of videos showing me my Phoenix Fall Fun Fest t-shirt. That was back in 2001. And if you've ever seen the video where I talk about my terrible trip to Cedar Point was actually the first stop on our whole trip that was going to Knoebels. That was our end goal. That's why I was at Cedar Point that time of the year. And we went to Cedar Point. We then went to Dorney Park, Knoebels, Lakemont, and we just missed getting into Six Flags Worlds of Adventure. I mean, literally, they closed the gate and window on us. Loved Knoebels. Great park. Have I been to Australia? I can make this question easy. I have been to two parks in Colombia, South America. I've been to a park in Costa Rica. But other than that, I have not been to any parks outside of the United States. So that answers a whole lot of questions there. So, let's see here. I'm trying to keep up on all these kinds of things. So many deals, it's hard for me to keep up. Best Disney World resorts, you're stuck between the Contemporary, the Poly, Animal Kingdom Lodge, and the Beach Club. You can see my video. It talks a little bit about some of the stuff that's at the resorts. I just posted that last week and a half ago. For me, budget is a huge thing. I would love to stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge, but there's no way I could ever afford it. If you could afford it, it's nice, but it is definitely separated from the rest of the parks. If you stay at the Contemporary or the Poly, Contemporary, you can actually walk into Magic Kingdom, but both of those, you can ride a monorail to Magic Kingdom as well as over to Epcot. So it gives you some more transportation options. So in that regard, I would probably go with Poly or Contemporary. Did I take photos at restaurants? Yes, I did. When PhotoPass first expanded into the dining area, I actually spent about 6 months working mostly in them. Didn't enjoy it. I've kind of talked and hinted at it a little bit, but I will actually be doing a video. It's on my list of ones to do about PhotoPass at Disney dining and my experiences with it. Wasn't my favorite. There were some fun moments with it, but I don't like interrupting people's meals. It's not a good thing. Favorite Madeline, what's my favorite Disney movie? I have way too many. And I see several people asking, what's your favorite this and that? I am terrible about picking favorites because my list of favorites is typically between 10 and 30 things long. So there is no way for me to pick a single favorite. Can't do it. I've actually shown a couple times. I've shown my collection of Disney movies. I really can't pick a single favorite. A lot of it will depend even upon what my mood is. Small Fry Aquatics. Is the Gatlinburg Aquarium worth the admission cost? Absolutely. Check out my video on the aquarium. You can get a good look. It is the neatest aquarium I have ever been in. Not even close. Just a really, really neat place. So yes, it is worth it. Look around. You can find some discounts out there for it. If you can find them, that's great. But yes. Am I a roller coaster person? Yep. Hey, Austin, you know what? You're about to get yourself booted if you don't stop it, okay? Appreciate you wanting to chat, but that's your second time out, and after that, it's going to be bye-bye, Austin, okay? Do I believe... Sorry, guys, there's so much chat there trying to keep up. Do I believe Kings Island is haunted? I'll give you a hint. I don't believe in ghosts, so that'll give you an answer there. And I go into this huge, long explanation there, but you really don't want me to do that. So, thoughts on Steel Vengeance? I really want to go. If I have it in my budget, somehow I'd like to try to find a way to get Cedar Point next year to ride it. I don't know that my budget's going to allow it. I'd also love to be able to get down to Disney World again, because I can do that one relatively cheap. But I can actually get plane tickets down to Florida for about $200. I can find friends to stay with and do that inexpensively, but I don't even know if I'm going to have $200 to do that. I'd love to. But Cedar Point would be an awesome trip for me. I really want to go back and ride Steel Vengeance, but I don't know if I'm going to get to. Do I have any tips on being a character? As far as Disney goes, not really, because I really wasn't on that side of the camera. I was the one taking pictures of them. I do know that they have auditions, and there are videos out there that are great on that. In fact, if you check my liked videos, there are a couple videos that will talk about auditions and how to get into being characters. So check my liked videos on my channel, Matty Boy. That may give you some advice there. How many times have I been to Disney? Well, do I have to include the days I worked? Because in 5 years, I was at Disney a lot. When I was working there, we would go probably 5 to 7 times a year just as guests, as well as working, of course, every day. Disneyland I have been to about 8 times. So, no. Let's see. Do I like It's a Small World? Yes, I do. Let's see. Opinion on some of the new changes to Walt Disney World. Waiting to see on a lot of them. The Guardians of the Galaxy ride I will comment on. It sounds incredible. I love the design for the coaster that they're putting in. I think it's in the wrong place. I don't see it fitting into Epcot. I think it's terrible as far as fitting in with the theme there. There's other places that would have been far, far better. I don't think it's going to have the lasting thing that would fit into Epcot's future world. The ride itself sounds awesome. I just wish they were putting it someplace else. Do I know what Planet Coaster is? Yes. In fact, it just went on sale on Steam. I don't have it. It's on my wish list. I haven't bought it yet. Even if I get it right now, though, I don't have time to play it. So I'm kind of going, Do I get discounts at the parks I've worked at? No. Once you don't work at a park anymore, you don't get any discounts. That's it. You pay full price or whatever you can find other places. Unless you still know people who can get you free tickets. Which does happen occasionally, but not always. Let's see. Yeah, Small Fry, watch my videos on Gatlinburg again. We didn't show anywhere near half the stuff we did in Gatlinburg. We loved it. Let's see. Sandra asks, to do Walt Disney World correctly, how long must a person stay to see it all? You can't see it all. Just accept that now. I know families that stayed there for 2 weeks. They would spend 2 days in every single park, as well as go to a lot of the resorts, and there was still stuff that they missed. There is just a huge amount of stuff at Disney World. You can actually catch, in a day and a half at each park, you can get every single ride and probably every single show. Maybe. You wouldn't get to meet all the characters, though. There will be some things that you miss. And then when you start figuring in the resorts and the horseback riding and riding boats and miniature golfing and the water parks, you can't see it all. In 5 years, there were still things that we did not get to do. So, Mary Loudon, just booked your next trip to Disney World. I'm jealous. Let's see. Hi from Australia. Are there any theme park overseas you would love to visit? I've got about 15 I would love to visit overseas. At least. Probably more. Someday. Let's see. How am I so happy all the time? From Generic Name. Oh, I'm happy. I've got you fooled. I am definitely not happy all the time. I love talking about coasters and parks. They definitely are a pick-me-up. But, no, I definitely have my irritable moments. Sunday afternoons and Sunday nights when I'm worn out from having worked at church, I'm pretty cranky. If I run into technical issues, I'm pretty cranky. My son's had set me straight a couple times about stop yelling at my computer or beating my desk, so I'm definitely not happy all the time. One of the things I've learned is if I'm going to be in front of people, whether it's at church, whether it's working in a theme park or on camera, is I kind of hit what I call perform mode, and actors, especially stage actors, will understand that. When you kind of set aside whatever else is going on because you want to make everybody else happy and perform for them. And so it's kind of a mode or a stage you get into. So that's one of the reasons I look happy all the time. And hey, it obviously works because y'all think I am all the time. Let's see. What's my favorite? Okay, Austin. Sorry, buddy. That was your third warning. Bye. Poor Austin. Didn't get a clue. So, folks, sorry about all those. I did catch it. Normally, I would have my kids here helping moderate, but, some people. Let's see. Jessica Zamora, I'm going to Disneyland next month. What is something you would recommend not to miss during the holidays? It has been about 16 years since I have been to Disneyland, so it's hard for me to say. I have heard, and I'm going to, okay, forgive me for messing this up. They have a Nightmare Before Christmas overlay on the Haunted Mansion that I've heard is really, really cool. So check that out. The Jingle Cruise, I've heard mixed reviews on. But the Christmas Parade for me is special. I love the March of the Toy Soldiers. So check those out. I don't know when Disneyland does their candlelight processional. Epcot at Disney World actually does it for 2 months where it goes every single night. I don't think Disneyland does it the same way, but I love candlelight as well. Let's see. Did I ever have fun working on the trains up at Silver Dollar City? Oh, no. I hated it. Couldn't stand the trains. That's why I did it for 3 years. I was not a mechanic, though. I was a conductor and a train robber, which meant I took care of the cargo, meaning the passengers. I did not actually operate the train. I didn't do any mechanical stuff. So, as far as that kind of thing, I can't really comment on that. You wouldn't want me doing mechanical anyways. I break stuff. I'm terrible. So, did I ever ride the rides while working? No. As a general rule, if you are currently on the clock, you cannot ride rides. You have a job to do. In fact, Disney, if you were caught riding rides while you were in costume, you were going to get fired. You had to change into civilian clothes. Silver Dollar City would occasionally let people ride in their outfits if they were off work. Busch Gardens, you were not allowed to ride if you were wearing your outfit for work. So no, you did not ride while you were working. You were working, or you were guests in the park. Not both at the same time. Let's see. Do I like working in the really hot weather, the really cold weather? I prefer cold weather. I am not a hot weather person. Florida burned me out of hot weather, especially after we've been in Southern California for years. I like cold. I like a little bit of snow. I can bundle up with cold, where if you're hot, you really can't strip everything off. That's just not good. That would be a visual you don't want. Thoughts on Disney bloopers on YouTube? Some of them are funny. I don't like the ones that ruin the magic. So mixed feelings. There you go, Madeline. Let's see. Christmas. So I'm kind of skimming through everything here. Let me see if I can get your name right here. Paris Starbob. Would they let me give a drawing to one of the characters I made? You made a lot of them. Absolutely. That's actually one of the neatest things you can do for the characters. You've got a couple different options there. You can bring in your drawings and you can hand it to the characters as a gift, which, trust me, they love stuff like that. That is so neat. The other thing that I've seen people do is do their drawings and have the characters autograph them, which is also very cool. So then you get a unique keepsake. Either one is really cool. Yes, bring in your drawings. If you've got more than one, they're going to love to see them. That was always really neat. Even as a photographer, I would try to get pictures of the characters looking at the pictures, but goodness, I'd stand there on the side sometimes just looking myself. Absolutely bring in your pictures. Very cool. What's my favorite Star Wars droid? Again, tough question. Oh, goodness, I'm going to go blank. Is it K2B? The one that was in Rogue One. Really loved him. Great droid. Sorry. Old age moment. Brian Rollercoaster. Here in Canada, we get sick of hot. Suddenly it's cold. We get sick of cold. Suddenly it's hot. You ought to try being in Missouri. We are in the 40s right now. Yesterday was 80 degrees. So we really go everywhere. Let's see. Have I seen the movie Krampus? No, not the silent movie I watch. If it's a horror movie or a scary movie, I probably have not seen it because I just don't enjoy stuff like that. Let's see. Hello from Iowa. Hi. Do I like water parks? Yes, I love water parks. In fact, I think I did a video last year on whitewater here at Branson. Absolutely love water parks. Busch Gardens, Tampa, or Silver Dollar City, Caden? Dollar City. They are both great parks. They're very different kinds of parks. I honestly wouldn't pick one over the other. It would be a toss-up because they're both wonderful. And I mean that sincerely. I'm not trying to cop out or anything else. Silver Dollar City has some incredible entertainment, great rides. The food is fantastic. Busch Gardens, you've got bigger roller coasters and the animals. So if you like zoos, they're both great. I can go back and forth between them. So hard to pick one. Let's see. Yes, that is the San Francisco's giant hat on the shelf. I am originally from Sacramento, California. So, in fact, there, San Francisco, those are my home teams. So, yes, I am a Giants fan. I am a San Jose Sharks fan when it comes to hockey. So, Grand Canyon Railroad train excursion. I have been to the Grand Canyon twice. I have not been on the train there. So, what is my opinion on Disney remaking a lot of the films it's made? I've got mixed feelings at this point. We loved Beauty and the Beast. Absolutely loved it. I was not a real big fan of Jungle Book. My wife and daughter really enjoyed it. Cinderella was okay. Alice in Wonderland, the first one, was pretty good. So it's kind of mixed at this point. I don't know what I'm thinking about Lion King yet. That one sounds weird for me. K2SO, thank you, Rich Connor. Yep. I was like, blank on the name. Food looked amazing. It tastes amazing. So I'm kind of skipping down. I'm gonna miss a lot of the questions here, guys. So I'm sorry if I miss yours. Has anybody ever had a tattoo of a Disney character, like a permanent tattoo? Maria, you need to watch my video I just posted Thursday about, and I mentioned a guy named Tattoo Man. So yes, there's lots and lots of them. Have I ever been on a train excursion? I have been on several real trains. We used to ride Amtrak in California up and down the coast. I haven't taken some of the tourist trains. Usually they're outside my budget. I just don't have that much money. So, what is it like to work on a public holiday such as Thanksgiving or Christmas Day? I actually have a video on things I did not like about working at theme parks, and that's one of them. Hated missing time with my family, but yeah. Disney Freak, would I ride King to Ka? Absolutely. Clay Pierce, do I miss working at Walt Disney World? Yes, I do. I don't miss Florida because of the temperature and stuff, but I do miss working at Disney World. I had a great time working there. So, did I hate working on busy days? Sometimes. If they were really, really busy, where it was so crowded. I worked New Year's Eve at Epcot one time, for example, and it was so crowded I couldn't move. Didn't like that. That was terrible. But if it was a moderate to heavy crowd where you were busy the whole time, then the day would go quick. So, favorite food at Disney? Again, way too many choices. I'll give you a hint, guys, because there's like, again, I see several favorites. If you're asking me for a favorite anything, I can't answer it because I have too many. Not a simple question. I can't do stuff like that. So, Train Museum in Sacramento from Caution Valley Central Railroad. Yes, awesome train museum. I remember when they first built it. So, yeah, I'm old. Okay. Let's see. Alcoholic, think about it, why I'm not answering that one. Let's see. You will never leave this video. Well, at some point you'll have to. Do I still get to go to Disney? I actually live in Missouri now. The closest Disney park is about 1,800 miles away. So around a 3-hour plane flight or a 2-day drive. In which case then I have to worry about transportation expenses, the hotels and all that. And we basically live off of my wife's teacher salary. So there's not a lot of money. I have not been to Disney since we moved to Missouri. We did have one trip I had to go for business down to Florida just over 2 years ago. We spent 1 day resort hopping and going to Disney Springs. But otherwise I haven't been to Disney. I would love to go. If somebody wants to buy my plane tickets down to Disney, I could go because I do have some ways I could probably get in. Goodness. Okay, so let me throw out some stuff. I see a bunch of questions, but I'm going to divert for just a minute here. To give you guys a little idea, a couple things going on. There are a couple YouTubers down in Florida who actually still go to Disney a bunch that I'm working on doing collaborations with. And hoping I can get it to work out. Right now I'm looking at doing them online. But where I'm at, I can actually fly down to Orlando and back home for about $200. I do have friends who have a guest room that I can crash at. And I have an option to get Disney tickets. So I could actually do a Disney trip for about a week for about $400 just me. And do the collaborations on site and everything. I just don't have the money right now. This is why, like I said, my other car broke down. So now you're going to see an unhappy moment. Our second car broke down about 3 weeks ago. And it died a good death. It's only worth about $1,500, and if I replace the transmission and other parts it needs, it's about a $2,500 fix by the time it's all done. So, I've got one car, which doesn't work real good, especially just trying to do trips and other things, so I'd love to get down to Disney World. It wouldn't cost that much money, but it's not money that we even have in our budget, especially since in the last several months, you probably don't realize this, but I've actually run up a good amount of doctor's bills and medical bills because of a heart condition that I have found out I have. That has been real fun. Yes, I can still ride roller coasters and travel and other stuff, so it's not a life danger thing and I'm not going to have surgery. But it has definitely kind of killed our budget for anything else we might have done. So there's a whole long soliloquy. You're 55 years old, not that old. I don't think I'm that old, and I'm younger than you. So. Used to live in Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah, it's about 3 hours away. Not too far. Did I ever get to try any of the character props like heads? I did get to try a Mickey's jacket once and gloves. So, hi, Zach. Let's see. I have all my fingers. Nice. Okay. Sure, Super Eric. Yeah. The car was a cheap one. It was one we actually bought for $1,000. But, see, man, have I ever thought about getting another job? I'm guessing you probably don't realize everything that I do now. I'm a pastor of a church. That's essentially a full-time job on its own, but it's a church that doesn't have the resources to be able to pay me. So on a typical week, I do 30 to 40 hours a week of work there. I also volunteer and have substitute at my local elementary and high school. That's a good chunk of work a week. And then doing 2 to 3 hours or 2 to 3 videos a week, there's probably about 10 to 20 hours of work that goes into that. There isn't time for another job. If I get another job, I eliminate YouTube, which actually right now is the best paying thing I have, even though it's only about $200 to $300 a month. So, yeah. Let's see. Please go with Tim Tracker. Tim Tracker. Tim Tracker doesn't have a clue who I am. Somebody actually wrote him a letter one time, and he was like, who's Sir Willow? So, have I been to the park in LA that has Walt's Train and Workshop? Yes, I have, but I didn't actually get to see those. It's where the Griffith Observatory is, as well as the LA Zoo. Neat park, but I haven't been that. Let's see. And forgive me again, I'm skipping down. Sandra asks, hope my heart gets better. My heart is actually not going to get better. It is a genetic thing that we found out I have, so now my kid's got to get tested. And basically what it means, give you all a big medical thing here. The muscle in the middle of my heart, instead of being kind of like this, like it should be, is more like this, which means as your heart pumps, the gap that lets the blood go through, it can, if I get working really, really hard, it can close. Which means I just can't work really, really, really hard. So, have I gone on Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm? Yes, I have. If you actually look at my other videos where I'm in my office at church, on my right side, over here on the shelf, you're going to see a metal piece there. That's actually a piece of track from Ghost Rider. And next to it's a piece of brake fin from it. So yes, I actually have real pieces of Ghost Rider. I will show that in a video at some point. I loved Ghost Rider. I know it got rough for a while there. They have retracted. It's supposed to be fantastic now. So if you like wood coasters, you'll like Ghost Rider. Great ride. Great ride. Yes, Speedy, somebody tell him about it. I'd love to get Tim's audience. My goodness. The trackers have a huge audience. So if I ever get that big, I'll really feel special. Let's see. Awesome to binge off of on Saturday. Coaster Completer, thank you so much for the wonderful comments. I have no plan on stopping video. So it was something that started as a hobby. It really is a hobby. It's been neat to see how everybody else has been watching. And how I've been able to expand it. But even if everybody quit watching, I would still be doing my videos because I enjoy it. So, let's see. Cry when you watch the video of me explaining what happened. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. Disney Freak asks, when working for Disney, did I ever go on bits on construction sites and see what they were building? Absolutely not. If you were not part of the construction crew, you are not allowed into a construction site. If you are a park employee, and this is true at Busch, at Disney, at Silver Dollar City, and I would imagine other parks as well. If you go into a construction site, if you go into a construction site at the park, and you are not part of that crew that is supposed to be there, you will be instantly fired. It is a safety hazard. You have no business in it. They will sometimes give tours to park groups, coaster clubs and stuff. Those are oftentimes hard hat tours, escorted and with special circumstances. Employees are generally not allowed. So, do I have a preference of wood over steel? I actually prefer wood. I actually prefer wood coasters. I do still need to do a video at some point on my favorite steel coasters, though. Let's see. You can hear dogs wandering around. Yes, my dogs are over here somewhere. Ginger! Sealy! Come here, Ginger. Come here. Okay, so there's Ginger. Sealy, come here. Yeah, wander around, say hi. And then that's Sealy. Yep. So yes, that's why you hear dogs wandering around. Would I consider going to Darien Lake? Absolutely. I'd love to get up there sometime. It's on that long list of parks I want to get to. Do I realize what a great person I am? I know the real me. I'm not as great as you think. Okay, Sealy. Okay, Sealy is decided she's going to be my back pillow. I'm happy that I am so blessed to know that people enjoy the videos, that it puts a smile on their face, that it makes them happy. That, honestly, that is a wonderful blessing to me. But, you know, trust me, I'm not always a nice guy. How do you spell Sealy? You're pretty close. Sealy was actually given to us by another person. We've never really figured out how to spell her name. So we don't know if it's C-E-E-L-Y or S-E-A-L-Y or whatever. We usually call her Goober or Dummy. So let's see. Yeah, Eric, nice joke, yes. Honestly, I have been very, very pleased and impressed with the way the channel has grown. When I first started, I was going to be excited if I hit 1,000 subscribers. And then last February, March, it exploded. It happened to catch YouTube's algorithms on a couple of my videos and just blew up in a big way. So being at 25,000 for me is incredible. Never thought it would get that big, and it's still slowly growing. I am looking for more opportunities to advertise and grow it, but yeah, it's been really neat. Somebody asked, do my wife's students know? The students here at town at elementary, the elementary and high school all know about my channel. Several of them are subscribed. I wouldn't be surprised terribly to find out there's 1 or 2 actually watching now. My wife actually teaches at a different school now. Started that last year. I think 1 or 2 students know about it, but I don't know for sure. So, let's see. Know someone who has Parkinson's disease. How would Parks respond if she was unable to walk because of her shaking? This is from Madeline. I would imagine, first off, that if they're having a hard time walking, they're probably in a wheelchair. Parks, generally, they're not doctors. They're not medical people. They're trained to accommodate in some ways, but for the most part, a person getting on or off a ride or something like that, it's really kind of up to them to be able to do it. And if they can't do it, there's very limited assistance that a park is allowed to offer because of liability reasons for as much as anything. If they were to have a problem in the park, of course, there's first aid. But they're not going to do anything different for somebody with Parkinson's versus somebody who has diabetes versus somebody who has, say, cerebral palsy or something like that. As far as a park employee goes, you treat them all very similar, even though they're radically different problems. What you can do is limited and similar in that regard. Anop36 has a good question. How do you get chosen to be Grand Marshal at Magic Kingdom? It is a random thing that happens early in the morning. Actually, Grand Marshal would be the parade. I'll be honest, I know that they have people who do it, who pick people out. I have never actually seen the family get chosen. Whether it was First Family that I used to shoot or whether it was the Grand Marshal. As far as I know, it is completely random, and I honestly don't know when, where, or how they pick them. They don't have them picked out in advance, as far as I know. It is just being out in the park and finding a family that I like and saying, hey, would you like to be Grand Marshal? So it's just being in the right place, right time, with the right kind of group that they're looking for. Sorry, I know. Not help. Videos make me feel less sad that I can't actually go on most Disney rides due to disability. So, Speedy, check with some of those rides. A lot of them have ways to accommodate you. For example, Pirates of the Caribbean and... oh, goodness. This is the bad thing about getting old, is your mind just goes blank. Small World. They do actually have boats that can take wheelchairs on them. I know the carousel can take a chair on it. There are several others that can make accommodations that way. Buzz Lightyear Spin has a car that can do wheelchairs. So, so does Toy Story Mania. So check with them. You may be surprised the number of rides that can accommodate you there. So, but again, you would probably know for sure. Let's see. Whoo, skip down another bunch. Gave this channel to Charlie and he's obsessed. Good for Charlie. Thank you, Trey Boy. What about Good Samaritan laws? It varies from place to place. Parks are going to play it safe. So, let's see. How is Disney for surprise proposals? I actually have a video that talks about wedding proposals or marriage proposals at Disney. So, check that. They're actually very good. I would strongly encourage you, if you're thinking about proposing at Disney, call the park first. Talk to them about what you'd like to do. When you're in the park, tell a PhotoPass photographer. Send her off somewhere else and tell a photographer so that way they can be ready and they can get your pictures. Cast members love to help with proposals. Wonderful place. Trust me. They will, anything they can do that is going to be safe and not disrupt stuff, they will try and do for you. Who do I have picked for the World Series? My team's not playing. In fact, I would have to go the Astros because that right there is my favorite team. And if you're a true Giants fan, you hate the Dodgers. So I can't root for the Dodgers. So there you go. Worst experience working in theme parks. I really didn't have really bad experiences. So I talk about some of them in some of the videos. You know, that's not how things are supposed to go and some stuff like that. But what's my favorite doctor from Doctor Who? The second one. The fourth is kind of my doctor because that was the first one I watched. And I loved Matt Smith and David Tennant. But probably the second. So there's some real history for you. How do you get into your job at Disney with being a photographer? Check out my video on how to get a job at Disney. That tells you how I did it. Am I a member of ACE? No, I am not. I have been in the past. And it's been like 15, 16 years ago when I lived in Southern California. And ACE has a nice letter and everything, but if you don't go to events, ACE membership really isn't worth it, and I don't have ways to get to events. So I am not a member of ACE. Now, if you want funny, I live in Missouri, but I am a member of the Florida Coaster Club, just because it is an awesome group of people. So I am a member of them. If you know, so it does give me an opportunity to go to a couple events that way. ACE is a good organization. It's just not one I'm a member of right now. Have I ever been Six Flags Over Georgia? Yes, in 2004 when I moved down to Florida. So, great park. Let's see. Can I please do another annoying guest at Disneyland? I am planning on it. My plan is to shoot one this week and have it up next Thursday. However, the one I'm working on, I have actually filmed 3 times before and ended up scrapping it every single time because the stories I want to tell did not come through well. I actually have not told the story about the worst, dumbest guest I've ever dealt with at Disney. And that's still waiting, and I just can't seem to get it right. So I'm going to try it again. Hopefully it'll work out this time. Let's see. Have I ever seen a Disney goof in person? I've seen lots of them. Are there wedding packages at Disney? Yes. And they are expensive. Depending upon your budget, you can plan at least $5,000, and it will go up from there. So if you want to get married at Disney, you better have a lot of money. How long does it usually take me to finish filming a video? Without getting tongue-tied, cracking up, or generally messing up. It takes a while. I will kind of write out a rough outline of what I am going to do with a video, and then I free speak. I'm not a person that does word-for-word scripts. Never have been. So even with the train, I never did word-for-word. We had a word-for-word script, but after that, once you get that done, you kind of go from there. So it'll take me a little while to get my script down. I will then kind of read it out loud once, which will take about 15, 20, 30 minutes, depending upon what I'm doing. Typically, I will have about 25 minutes of footage that I will film, and then I will trim that down to about the 14 minutes that you see, somewhere in there. A lot of times I can get it just under 20 minutes because that's when my camera shuts off, and then condense it down. The last one I just published on the 9 Ways to Get Kicked Out, I actually had 31 minutes of actual video footage that I then trimmed down. That's why it was long. And then editing will take several hours, so it can take a while. Let's see. Woo. Let's see. Am I allowed to smoke on break? I don't smoke, so no, I can't. But yes, parks do have smoking areas for the employees, so they are able to do that. Absolutely. Can't smoke while you're working, but they do have places that when you're on break, you can go smoke. If you're visiting Disney on a budget, what resort would you stay at? I'll be honest, if you're on a budget, Disney's probably not going to work. Even if you stay at the cheapest Disney hotel, you're looking probably $75 a night, plus taxes and fees. And that's your budget ones, and then you're riding the bus to the resorts. And then you've got your Disney tickets, which are going to be expensive, and food in the parks is expensive. If you are sitting there trying to pinch pennies, Disney's not going to be a good thing. A family of 4, you can plan $5,000 probably for a Disney trip. And depending upon where you're traveling from, you may be, and that's for about a week. But it is expensive. If you don't have several $1,000s for a family of 4, then Disney's probably not going to work for you. In my case, the few times I did stay on property, we stayed at Coronado Springs because it was kind of a mid-range. It was about 120, 130 a night at the time, which I'm sure it's more now. Did I cruise on Disney? Watch my video about being on TV, and it will tell that story. No, I didn't cruise, but I did get on the boat. So, let's see. Kittens channel, please watch the spam. You're kind of pushing it a little bit. So, let's see. Bing, timeout. Sorry, Kittens channel. Way too much. I'll give you a timeout, but if you come back and do it again, then it's going to be bye-bye. What theme park resort have I had the most positive memories of? Almost all of them. I know. Terrible answer. I loved Disney. I loved Busch. I loved SeaWorld. I loved Silver Dollar City. I've got great memories at all of them. I don't know, like, the one time I could say I had the best trip ever, I actually made a video on that. So look for my best trip ever video on Disneyland, and that'll tell that story. And it was actually, as sad as it is, it was coming out of a very bad time, and that ended up helping make it an even better time because we were able to kind of escape that a little bit. So, go to Paris Disney if I want cheap Disney. Yeah, but Super Epic, then for those of us in the States, we've got to pay the huge airline fees and visa fees and everything to get over there. So it's still not a cheap one. Getting some good advice there, though, on cheaper hotels. The one thing is if you stay off-site at Disney, yes, you may save some money on the room, but you're going to pay extra for it, making up for it with the rental car costs and then the parking costs, because that adds up in a hurry. And once you add that onto your nightly stay at the hotel, you're just about at Disney resort levels. What Disney coaster is the best at Busch? Last time I was there, I would say Kumba. Sheikra was a close second. That was before their new Cheetah Hunt was there. I saw them starting to do construction work on that, but never got to ride that. So Montu would be what I would say there. Favorite ride when I went to Six Flags over Texas? Texas Giant. Easy, easy. That one's an easy one for me to pick. Watch the video on the deal and you'll see why. I loved Texas Giant. That's one case that is an exception on my favorites list where it is in a very narrow category of favorite coasters. Awesome ride. Awesome ride. Am I a train enthusiast? I would say no. I love trains, but I can't tell you the different kinds of trains and models and gauges and stuff like that. I worked with a bunch of train enthusiasts at Silver Dollar City. All the engineers and mechanics are all huge train enthusiasts. which is why I know I don't qualify as one. So, bye, Speedy Wheels. Thank you for being with me. Enjoyed having you there. Only ever stay at Disney for 3 days. Is there a way to convince them to go for longer? Are you staying at Disneyland or Disney World? If you're going to Disney World for 3 days, boy, are you missing it, because you can't possibly hit all the parks and stuff that way. Minimum stay at Disney World would be 5 days. Disneyland, I can see 3 days if you're only doing 1 day in the park on a budget. But again, if you're spreading that out more, you're spending more money. And so if you want a way to convince, I'm guessing, your parents to stay longer, raise money and help pay for the trip. Let's see. Have I ever been to the Nick Hotel? I drove past it. Never actually stayed there. When I worked at Disney, we lived 10 minutes away from Disney World. And, International Drive, where a lot of the tourist stuff is, was only about 25 minutes away. We had no reason to stay at any hotels or spend money there. I know cast members who did stay at the hotels. I was like, why? I need the money for food. So Katie Ninetail says something here. You can always park at Disney Springs and ride the bus, both free, to get to the parks, but not for those in a hurry. Let me clarify on that a little bit. Parking at Disney Springs, which used to be called Downtown Disney, is free. It's meant for people who are shopping there. You can ride Disney shuttle buses free. But if you were at Downtown Disney or Disney Springs, the bus or the boats are going to only take you to Disney resorts. That's it. So if you want to go to, say, Epcot, and you're parking at Disney Springs, you are going to have to hop on a bus, ride to a resort hotel, and then wait for a bus at the resort hotel to take you to a park. It is going to take you a long time. It is also strongly frowned upon by the park. They're not going to ticket you or kick you off or anything, but it takes so long, you're better off just driving to the park. One carload of people is going to be cheaper than all that time you waste going both ways. Have I ever been to Magic Springs or Hot Springs, Arkansas? No, I have not, which is sad because I'm not that far away from it. Let's see. Trying to see what else we can go here. If I was a pirate and captain of one of the ships from Pirates of the Caribbean, which one would I be captain of? I don't know that I can handle shipping life. The one time I've been on a boat like that, I actually got seasick. Isn't that terrible? I never would have thought that. I don't see myself on a boat. I know. Terrible answer, Wampy. I'm sorry. What is by far the best dark ride I've ever experienced? There isn't one by far. Sorry, World of Cheese. Again, that's me picking out one. Doesn't happen. Too many favorites. There's nothing that comes close to separating. Unless you count Tower of Terror as a dark ride. So, and it's not a by far. It's a great ride. It's my favorite at Disney, but it's not a by far thing. Did I ever work at different Disney parks? I worked at all 4 of the Disney World parks, as well as helped them pick out pictures in the water parks a little bit, although I didn't shoot there. Have I been to Pandora? I have not been to Disney World in 7 years, so no. Hi from Spokane. If my husband and I ever moved back to Minnesota, it would be fun to have you come to Valley Fair. I'd love to get to Valley Fair and Canada's Wonderland and all these other places. I know. Do I like visiting historical villages? I have been to Williamsburg. I've been to several of them. My major in college was actually history. I am a history buff and nut. Love history, so yes. There are a lot of times that if I got a choice, here's how much I love history. I will try to work in historical spots on my trips as much, and sometimes more so, than theme parks. What are you two growling at? Stop it, goobers. So, love history. Yes, love historical parks. Oh, whew. Goodness, we're going for almost an hour. I still got 85 of you. It's still growing. Wow. So, I have nothing to do, so I'm probably not going to go anywhere anytime soon, if that's okay with everybody. Let's see. If I have the time to go as many times as it would take to work in... Oh, okay. Sorry, I know that didn't make any sense. Sorry. Have a good night, Scuff Boots. Out of the 4, what was my favorite Disney park to work at? They were all different. Epcot, I was spoiled because I was close to an original. I was not an original PhotoPass cast member, but I came in a few months after it really started expanding. And because they knew me, I had privileges at Epcot that most photographers didn't. And I got to wander World Showcase a lot of time as what we called a rover. And I loved that. Most photographers don't get that kind of freedom. And I could kind of shoot whatever I wanted with the guests within certain limits and stuff. So I loved that. Working with characters, it was great. Studios had a lot of good stuff at it, but probably Magic Kingdom, just for the magic. There's something special about Magic Kingdom. When people walk under the train station for the first time and come out to see the castle, and just the wow factor. I loved that about Magic Kingdom. So that probably would have been my favorite of the 4. Intermission's almost over. Oh, okay. I don't know what you're seeing, Clayton. Hope it was good. Let's see. Do I know the origin story of the King Arthur Carousel? Off the top of my head, no. I have read it as soon as I would start. I know it's from another park originally, and it is an old classic carousel, but I don't remember which one and where, because there's a lot of them. I actually have a whole book that describes it. So, top of my head, though, blank right now. What are my thoughts of Ellen's Energy Adventure and the Great Movie Ride closing? I love Great Movie Ride. I'm mad about that one. Absolutely. I think the replacement for the Great Movie Ride is terrible. They could have done so much better. Not happy about what's happening there at all. As far as Ellen's Energy Adventure, it desperately needed a revamp. Badly needed a revamp. I'm not sure the Guardians of the Galaxy is what I would have put there. The ride sounds incredible, but I think it's in the wrong place. So, I would like to have done something else and then put the Guardians of the Galaxy ride someplace else. So, Emily asked, what do I think of Disney's college program? I have heard great things about it. I knew people in it, but I never participated, so it's hard for me to make an opinion. Would I do a video on Disney history? The problem there is my history with Disney does not go way back. And there are people that have done great videos on Disney history that do far better than I ever could. If I'm not telling my stories, it's not anywhere near as strong as if I am. And so I could do a video, but it is not going to have the pictures. It's not going to have the video footage. It's not going to have the interviews. And it's actually going to end up looking kind of cruddy, honestly. There are some fantastic videos about Disney and Disney park histories, and I would stick with those. Why should I try to do something that's already been done far better than me? So, would I ever consider doing a video on my theme park book collection? Yes, actually, it is in process. I'm trying to get set up so I can be an Amazon affiliate, which also means trying to get a website set up. I'm trying to get a couple things in place. Eventually, again, part of that is a money thing. But once I do that, then yes, I will do a video on the books I have in my collection. A lot of them are older, and you can look them up on Amazon. But that way I can have links and people can order them straight, and it's a little tougher to set up. So at some point, yes, there is a plan for that. What do I miss the most? America Sings or Bear Country Jamboree? Well, Bear Country Jamboree is still at Walt Disney World, so I got to see it all the time. America Sings I only saw once, and I actually don't remember it that well because I was very young at the time. So, Sandra Wilburner, what about Lightning Rod? Awesome coaster. I actually like Texas Giant just a little bit better, the new one, but Lightning Rod was a fantastic coaster. We were very happy to get 2 rides in on it when we were there. So, did I ever get to ride the Disneyland Peoplemover? Yes, I did. I actually got to go to Disneyland in the days of the ABC D&E tickets. So, let's see. Train Boy, if I got to sub to one of my subs, who would it be? A lot of my people who subscribe to me that have bigger audiences, I'm already subscribed to. Best thing I can tell you is look at my, if you go to my channel, I believe you can see who I have subscribed to, and that's your answer. So, good night, Madeline. Good talking to you. If I got a chance to work at Disney again, would I stick with being a photographer or would I try something different? Did you see my one Q&A that actually talks about Disney jobs I would have loved or hated? Because I talk about a couple of the others I would have liked there. But overall, I probably would stick with being a photographer. I just had a blast with it. Had an absolute ball. I don't think it would get too much better than that. The one thing I can say one thing I did not put in that video that I would love even better, and that would be to be a tour guide, one of the VIP escorts, or the plaids, as you call them. But they are so rare and few and far between that it's almost impossible to get one of those jobs. That would be an awesome job to do. Have I ever been to Frontier City in Oklahoma? Yes, way back in 2004. Really enjoyed it then. So, did I get stapled on a lightning rod? No, I didn't. Actually, we were comfortable. We didn't have a lot of room, but we didn't get stapled. Been to King's Dominion? No, I have not. My dad actually still has a book with A, B, and C tickets in it from Disney. So, well, it has been fun. See you later, kitten. Give me just a minute here, everybody. I am going to go fill up my drink because I am thirsty. So you're going to see a blank screen for a moment. But I'll stick around for a little bit longer. Like I said, I got nothing to do and my wife's not home, so I'm bored. Give me a second. What you doing, Ginger? Oh, hello, Sandy. Hey, Sealy, you really ought to, like, entertain on there. Yeah. Like, jump up on the desk and say hi. Uh-huh. You can. You know you can. Okay. Oh, well. You're just not quite tall enough, are you, puppy? All right. Let's see. What did I think of Kings Island? That would have been back in 2002. Is that right? Yeah, 2002 is when I went to Kings Island. We went on a weekday that should have been quiet and ended up being a bring a friend free day, and it was packed. We enjoyed it. Really liked the park. Wish I could have had a lot more time and gotten to see and do more. It's been so long. But we liked it at the time. It was Paramount at the time. It was not Cedar Fair. So that may have changed it a little bit. So, oh, let's see. Somebody asks, what Disneyland hotel would I stay at? I honestly don't know, Deborah, because I have not stayed at any of the Disneyland hotels. I remember when they built the Grand Californian, and it looked great from the outside, but I have never seen any of them inside, and my budgets have never allowed anything close to something like that. So I really can't say. I'm sorry. I know. Terrible answer. I don't think a lot of people realize when we do our trips and everything, we do it on a very tight, penny-pinching budget. And I think people will be shocked how little we spend on what we do and how many ways that things have worked out that we haven't had to spend a lot of money. But yeah, hotels and stuff, we go cheap. So, did different areas in the parks have code names? Because you heard a Liberty Square cast member calling the radio to Big Thunder, calling it Thunder 8, and calling himself Liberty 7. That's actually a good question, Nick. The way park radios work is different positions and different people will have different codes. And it's going to vary from park to park and situation to situation. Like at Disney, the photographers didn't carry radios. We didn't need them. If our boss had to get a hold of us, our PDAs that were attached to our cameras would actually flash messages at us. But if you had a radio, your supervisor would probably have a radio, and then maybe the greeter up at the front. And so they would have different codes, one for the supervisor, one for the greeter, maybe one for the ride operator. And it'll be different numbers for each one. So that's probably what the 7 and the 8 are referring to, is different positions at those actual rides. Then, of course, you also have the heads and everything. At Silver Dollar City, where we had the radios, each different ride had its own code number. So, you would give out your code number, and then your division would also have a code as well. And the person who was in charge of that division would have a code number. At Silver Dollar City, we would call out that code number when we were trying to get a hold of them. And the reason I'm not saying the numbers is because I honestly don't know if I should or not. Because every now and then somebody would get a hold of their frequency and try to break in and cause chaos, and I don't want that to happen, so that's why I'm not giving those codes out. But yeah, you would use it to refer to which position you were, so people knew exactly who they were talking to. So, let's see. What am I drinking? I am drinking generic Dr. Pepper. It's called Dr. Choice. So, let's see. Why do I think Magic Mountain is so poorly themed and taken care of? Premier Parks when they bought Six Flags. I actually went to Magic Mountain the first time when I was 12. And so I remember Magic Mountain when it was themed. And Six Flags at the time came in and basically ditched theming and would gradually tear down theming. And so they're starting to come back to it a little bit and have the last few years. But for a long time, Six Flags didn't pay any attention to theming. And so they would buy parks that had theming in it, and then they would ignore it, and it would kind of just gradually fall away and disappear. It's not necessarily that it's badly taken care of. The theming isn't taken care of, but the park itself has actually been pretty well taken care of. It's just theming gets neglected. And so Six Flags isn't theme parks. They're amusement parks. But gradually they're bringing the theme back, in particular with the DC stuff. So, hey there, PG. Ooh, there's a name I don't hear too often online. Timotar. Oh, hey, Tim. Now I got it's like, who? How are things going for you? Hope the move and everything's going well. Good to see you. If I haven't been to Hershey Park. No, I have not been to Hershey Park. Yes, I want to go to. Again, list of about 50 places I want to go. That's on there. Let's see. Lovebirds. Might be in Branson next year in June. Would love to meet me if I'm down there. I am about 30 to 45 minutes away. If you are in Branson, let me know. And if it's convenient, I happen to be out there, I'd love to. In fact, I can give you a heads up. I will be at Silver Dollar City at least the first Saturday of the Christmas stuff. And if I can work out the car thing, I'll be there the Friday and Saturday of the first weekend. So, hello, I love Pepsi. Sorry, Dr. Pepper. Okay. Remember the Trolls? Yes, I do remember the Trolls. Spilkin Corner was really neat. It was a craftsman area with Sanford. I actually had a picture as a kid with me with the Troll, and I can't find those old pictures. I don't know where they went. So, Rob Rathbun. What do I think about Walt Disney World allowing dogs at certain resorts? Dogs. Honestly, I don't have a problem with them allowing dogs at a few of them. At all of them, I don't think would be a good idea, because you do have people with allergies and issues like that. And they can restrict the dogs to certain wings or certain rooms. I think having dogs at the resorts is fine. They're charging extra fees, and then if you go to the park, you can't leave the dog in your room. You got to get a kennel or another spot. But I don't see an issue with it. I saw one person saying they would never go to Disney again because there's dogs at the resorts. And, well, just go to one that doesn't have dogs. So, I don't know. Let's see. Hey, I forgot to add flitting with the princesses. Sorry, Jay, you may have to explain that one. I forgot to add flitting with the princesses in my video. I'm not sure what you're referring to. May have to write me a little bit more on that one so I can get there. Have I been to Dollywood? Why, Griever? You need to go look at my list of videos. That will answer your question. Have I ever watched Disney Food Blog? Yes, I have a couple times. Every now and then. So, I'm not... I know I did the video on Silver Dollar City food, but I'm not a food connoisseur. Hey, if it's edible, I like it. So, I love Pepsi. Happy you like my videos. If I ever got a chance to work as a conductor on the Disney World Railroad, would I do it? Well, of course. If I got a chance to work at almost anything in a park, I would do it. So, haven't been to Kennywood. No, not yet. And actually, there's people that would consider Kennywood theme park. Either way, there's some people that make a big, huge difference over theme park versus amusement park. If it's got theming on anything, it's a theme park. It's not really a big difference for the most part. Silver Dollar City, Bonnie asks, did Silver Dollar City management like to hire people who are into reenactment? Did Silver Dollar City allow employees to buy their own work clothes? Yes and no. Silver Dollar City did not look at whether you went to reenactment or stuff for the job. They gave you the costume. If you really wanted to wear your own clothes at work, you could, but you would actually have to go into costuming and get it approved first. And it was generally discouraged except in certain circumstances. As an example, if you've seen the pictures of me wearing the big, long, brown duster jacket, that is actually my jacket. It's not Silver Dollar City's. I actually bought that at Dollywood way back in 2004, of all things. And I wanted a nice coat that would fit in with the train that would be warm when it got cold. And so I actually had to go to costuming and say, hey, is this okay to wear on the train? As far as beyond that goes, generally, though, they do not allow you to wear your own clothes. And you really don't want to anyways, because they're going to get dirty and musty and wrecked and torn and filthy. And why ruin your clothes? Park's going to give you clothes, wear theirs and mess it up. So, let's see. Good night, Maria. Maria. Sorry. Oh, flirting with the princesses. I generally didn't flirt with the princesses because I would have gotten in trouble with my wife. If you've seen the picture of me dancing with Aurora, the first time I had that picture, my wife pitched a fit. Now it's not as big a deal, but oh no, she's like, what are you doing with her? I'm like, we were bored. It was a slow day. So I didn't generally flirt with the princesses. Besides, it would have been kind of creepy to have this guy that was in his mid to late 30s flirting. It's like, why? So, is Silver Dollar City in Florida? No. Silver Dollar City is in Branson, Missouri, 1,800 miles away from Florida. So, alcoholic, not appropriate. That's a good way to get yourself banned. I don't know what's going on there, but, yeah. Okay. Have I ever met Adam the Woo? No, I have not. How old do you have to be a princess? Old enough. It varies. Most jobs you've got to be over 18. So there's a few in food service you can do at 16, but most of the time 18. So sad they changed the welcome show at Magic Kingdom. I am too. I loved the old welcome show. That's why I would shoot pictures of it even when I wasn't working. That's why I would sometimes cry over it, as silly as that is. So, do I have a favorite Disney World attraction or ride? Bree, check out my video list. I've got a video that talks about my favorite Disney attractions. So, that's the easiest answer I can give you. Did I ever slip and fall while working? Absolutely. Of course. I'm a klutz. Did it a bunch. Didn't do it generally with the camera gear on, thankfully. But, RC Gaming. I'm going to Disney in March and April. Do I have any advice on where to eat with a couple food allergies? Disney on their website actually has a place that you can check and look for food allergy information. That is the best thing I can do is search Disney's website for that. And based on your allergies, they can give you guidelines on where to eat and where not to, as well as if you're going to a sit-down dining, then you can also let them know with the reservation what your allergies are and they can make arrangements. If you're at a sit-down dining thing too, you can also ask them to tell the chef that you've got certain allergies, and they will be very good about working with you. But check the website. That's the best thing I can tell you with that. So, hope that helps, RCD. Let's see. Did I ever bring up YT at the church I pastor at? Oh, YouTube. Yes. Canamus, I am very real when I preach. And so I talk about dealings with Facebook. I talk about YouTube. And the good and the bad, and my people probably put up with it sometimes. But yes, it does come up. I actually get some very good illustrations for what I'm talking about from YouTube, and some of the interaction I get. So, yep. Let's see. Purred Wilhide. Don't like to sing in public, but love to sing on the Silver Dollar City Sing-Along Steam Train. How can you not sing along with it? It just gets you. I'm the same way. I am not a public singer, but I sing along on that one. Since you've been playing Mario all day, any thoughts on Super Mario Land coming to Universal? My son could tell you more on that. I'm like, Mario's okay. So, did I ever think it broke my camera? No. Actually, that's a good question, Nathan. I did have cameras that would wear out and break on me, but nothing that I did broke them. We use our cameras incredibly amount. At the time that I started shooting, Nikon was saying that their cameras had an average lifespan of about 1 million to 1.5 million pictures. We were shooting cameras with over 3 million pictures on them. So we just plain wore them out. Nikon actually rewrote their books based on how we were using their cameras, which is interesting. So I did have lenses sometimes that would just quit working, and you try to zoom or out and they would lock up, or the PDAs would just wear out or overheat. So we did have stuff like that occasionally, but I never actually broke a camera. I do want to. One of my coworkers one time was walking past the moat at Magic Kingdom and thought he saw a kid go in and went running into the moat with his camera gear on and ruined them. But no, I never did personally. So, have I ever been to Universal Studios, Orlando, or Hollywood? Absolutely. I went to Islands of Adventure and Universal in Orlando quite a lot. Last time I was at Universal Hollywood was 1990, probably about 1989, 1990. It's been a long time. Life of Dodds. Did you have photography knowledge before getting hired as a PhotoPass photographer? I had never used a DSLR. I had used a point-and-shoot camera with an autofocus and 35mm, which digital was coming out. Digital was still pretty new when I started. I did have a Kodak digital camera, which didn't shoot great. I took decent pictures, but I would not say I was a good photographer at the time. I learned a lot in their training. So, did I have photography knowledge? A real photographer would say, no, I did not. What are some parks I want to visit that I've never been to? I have a list of over 50 parks, so can't answer that one. Too many. Did I ever go to Wizarding World of Harry Potter? No. I would like to now, but it was new when we lived there. They opened it up about a year before we moved. And my wife in particular is not a Harry Potter fan. And I generally don't go to parks without her. So since she doesn't like them, I didn't go. I'm on Harry Potter. I can't say I really have a stand one way or the other, but it would be neat to go just to say I could go in, but I haven't actually been to it. Second star to the right asks, can you take your own food into Disney? Yes and no. They don't let you... Occasionally they'll let you bring in ice chests and stuff, especially if you have a restricted diet. They will let you do so in a limited fashion, but it's generally discouraged. So, and some of it's going to depend on what you're bringing in too. A open thermos or something that they can't tell if it's alcoholic or not, they probably are not going to let you bring it in. They will let you bring some snacks. Generally, the rule is no, but they may let you go in and overlook it. So, it changes. Sometimes the rule is absolutely not. Sometimes it's okay. So, let's see. If I had unlimited funds for a 2-week trip, what parks would you go to? Oh boy, Billy, that would be rough. Unlimited funds, I would probably book an RV with a driver, and I would take a 2-week trip across the country and just stop at all sorts of different places. And trying to narrow that down would be tough. I would have to sit down with a map and try to figure out, because I would probably try to squeeze in as many parks as I could in that time. So that would be tough. Kennywood would definitely be on the list. Absolutely, because I haven't been there. Hershey Park would be on the list because I have not been there. Six Flags Great Adventure would absolutely be on the list. Probably, I would say Canada's Wonderland would be there. King's Dominion would be on there. Have to think. Like I say, it would be tough. So, but yeah, that gives you a few. Let's see. Could you dress up as a character at Disney for Mickey's Not So Scary? No. 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 Read my video, or watch my video I just published Thursday about that. You can wear a costume for Not So Scary, not any the rest of the time, but you cannot be a Disney character. You cannot be anything that somebody might think is a character or that people want autographs from. So if you are dressed as, say, Aurora, and people might think you are really Aurora, the answer is absolutely not. Disney just don't want any confusion between their characters and their guests. And so this is why the girl was not allowed to go into Animal Kingdom dressed as Tinkerbell, because she could have been mistaken. So, no. Okay? Easy rule on there. Good night. Hello. Hey, Sudden Blast. Good to see you. Thank you for all the work you do on the Reddit. Appreciate it. Ooh. I noticed my number's starting to go down, so I'll probably go about 10 more minutes here, guys. Because this is a long one. I'm an hour and 20 minutes that we've been on. Oh, let's see. If I had a genie and had one wish, what would I wish? Ooh. I don't know. I love Pepsi. That would be tough. That would be tough. Did I ever do something to change the park? My mother worked at eventually a small park in Iowa, and she was the reason the Yarrows have lettuce. Well, when I worked on Rhino Rally, I did cause a change in the training procedures because of a big dumb thing I did, and that's actually one of my really early videos. But I don't think it really counts anymore because Rhino Rally isn't there anymore. I don't know that I can necessarily say I did make any other changes at parks. So, yeah, kind of. I can't think of anything else I would say I could look at and go, yes, that's because of me. But, Joe's cool. You got mixed feelings? Okay, alcoholic, you're done, buddy. That's enough of that. So, Caledon Flanagan, I'm happy my video could cheer you up. I really do. Really am. Those kinds of things touch me when I see that, so thank you. Scorpio, hang on just a second. There, you can stand right there, Sandy. So, there's the answer to your question. There's one. Say hi. My other one's sleeping over on the couch. I have 2 cats. 2 cats and 2 dogs. Let's see. Now my cat is blocking part of the screen. Linda Lizer, you know, it's funny. Linda Lizer offers to be my personal tour guide at Hershey. I've actually had that offer at a lot of parks now, so it would be fun sometime. There's so many parks I want to get to. It's just one of those that trying to do it on a teacher's budget, because my wife is a teacher and we basically live off of her salary. Teachers don't make a lot of money, and our church takes up a lot of time and funds, so it would be neat. But Pixel Wilhite, planning on getting Silver Dollar season passes? Hey, you might see me at the park then. I'm in there fairly often. Do you think they could build Toontown at Hollywood Studios, Florida? Dracola. I don't think they ever will. Wouldn't fit in at Hollywood Studios. They had it sort of at Magic Kingdom. That is where Toontown would actually fit better. And they got rid of it. So, yeah. I seriously doubt it. I think they're going the right direction with the Pixar and with the Star Wars land and things like that. Make it more kind of property focused. I think that's a good choice for them. But not Toontown. Toontown fits in better with, like attached to Fantasyland. So, what do I think about the projection show? I don't know what to think. I really have no idea on that. So, what coaster clubs am I currently with? Florida Coaster Club is the one I'm a member of right now. Let's see. Cat killed your feed. I understand, Billy. My cat's jumped on top of my computer sometimes and turned it off. I was like, any rides that scare me? Not really. Favorite Disney movie? Too many to count. What would I do if a zebra's in my house? Why would a zebra be in my house? Good luck on your CFAT, Pure Blood. So, hope they relax you and help you get ready for it. What was the last ride to scare you, or at least make you nervous or anxious? There was one ride, and that is the Sky Coaster in Kissimmee, Florida. It is the tallest one in the world. It's 300 feet, and I rode it with two of my friends. Best friend in the world, and he is definitely on the obnoxious side. He and I would love to rag on each other. And we're strapped into this thing, and it's pulling us 300 feet up off the ground. And no joke, when you were up at the top, people look like ants. My cat is now clawing my screen. Thank you, Sandy. And it's way up there, and you got to pull a ripcord. That one made me nervous. We joked afterwards that you always wonder what you're going to say if you think you're about to die, and I found out on that one. And no, it wasn't a curse word. It was jeez. So, Sandy, stop it. Okay. Here, you may say hi again, but you're going to stop scratching my screen. Okay? Have I ever been in a play? I have been in a number of plays. I have done Shakespeare. I have done comedy. I have done several other things in high school and college. I've done several college. I've done several church productions as well. Back when I was 30, I played an old man. So, favorite ice cream flavor? Again, too many. Let's see. So, second star, I'm happy I could be an encouragement. That is a blessing to me. So, what do I think of Cast Connection selling bags of rice? I didn't know they did. Oh no, hey, if it's cheap. All my plates came from Cast Connection, so here. Look out, Ginger. Oh. There you go. Official Disney plates from the restaurants. And yes, I still have them. That's actually what we use around the house. So, have I ever ziplined or bungee jumped? Yes, I've ziplined. In fact, I even did a video on our zipline adventures. Bella, you got to check out all my videos. Bungee jumped, no. I have not done bungee jumping. I won't do bungee jumping. I've seen way too many people get hurt when those bungees do things that they're not supposed to do. However, the free fall with a harness is what's called a sky coaster. Yes, I have done several of those. Absolutely. And in fact, you can kind of see a variation of that coming up tomorrow in the video I'll post. So watch for that. Favorite pizza topping? Pepperoni and olives. Love my olives. Let's see. Did I ever see Spectro Magic at Magic Kingdom? Yes, I did. I loved Spectro. Spectro was a really cool parade, and I'm sad that it's gone. From what I heard, they had parked the floats, and then the Florida weather got them, and they'd rotted. So I don't think you're ever going to see Spectro back. I've heard that it's beyond repair, and they ended up having to trash it, which is really sad. Yeah, we got a lot of people, Billy, that need to binge watch my videos. There's a lot of them they've been missing. Yeah, for a lot of you, if you're asking things like my favorite Disney ride and have I been to certain places and done certain things, the best thing I can tell you is go to my channel homepage, look at the list of videos, and just scroll through. You're probably going to find a lot of those answers there. And you may be surprised at some of the things I've done. And I've got some other things coming up as well. So, Scorpio was on my live stream train. Yay! So, well, I've got about a minute left here before I sign out because I got to make sure I get the video processing and uploaded for tomorrow. Want to make sure that you get that. So, World of Cheese. I have no idea what to think about that because I don't know anything about it. So, me in real life banning upvote memes. That's just weird. I don't know. So, don't know what to say on that. Yeah, Katie Ninetails, I agree. I don't know why they don't have a night parade. It's just I wish they had come up with a replacement before they got rid of Main Street. So, Sandra, so happy to hear you're an ordained minister. That means there's at least two of us around. It has honestly, it has been a blessing the way this taken off and people talking. Jonas, am I tired? A little bit. I'm actually just starting to get my second wind. I'm a night person. So when my wife is gone, I get to stay up late. She's a morning person, so we get the opposite stuff. Let's see. World of Cheese. I have to disagree with you. It is not the only good subreddit. Check out my subreddit, and it would be even better if more people posted in it, and talked in it, and suggested things. So, go check out the Sir Willow subreddit. If Walt Disney World had to get rid of either Pirates or Haunted Mansion, I had to make the decision. If I had to get rid of one of them, I'd just close the park because it's a lost cause. People will shoot and blow up that park if you had to close one of them. Not happening. Do I ever get over the fear of going on a ride? I don't get scared on rides. I just don't. I know some people do, but sorry, Clayton Hull, I'm not a good one to ask on that. When I was young, I used to, and I do actually have a video in the Park Tales series that talks about getting over that fear. But if you're still struggling with it, I'm not much help. Sorry. Let's see. Do I know any requirements for walk-around characters? They need to walk. Again, if you look on the liked videos on my channel, there are a couple videos there that talk about auditioning for characters and stuff like that. That's the best way to go there. I was never a character, so... Well, although there's a lot of people that say that I am a character, but... how do I feel about Star Wars Land getting added? It's about stinking time. Would not have fit into California Adventure. I think it works very well with Disneyland. Way, 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 way overdue. So, and anything else? Do I consider YouTube a job? Sort of. It is a hobby. It is something I started doing for fun. It was not ever anything I intended to do seriously. It has, well, seriously, I've been serious about it, but it was never anything I intended to do as a job, solely as a job. And if everybody quit watching right now, I would still do it and still continue to do it and still have fun with it. So in that regard, no. But I will be honest, it has taken the place of a couple other things I used to do that got paid for because I am making a little bit of money. I don't make that much money. I make about $200 to $300 a month off YouTube, plus what my patrons support me with, which is a little bit more than that. My patrons are really the ones that keep the financial part of it going. So in that regard, yes, it is a job, but I would still do it even if I didn't get any money. So, do I have plans to return to Disney World again soon? Okay, I've got a dream plan, and I talked about this earlier in the chat, so I'll mention it again. I can actually get down to Orlando. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit. I can actually get down to Orlando for about $100 each way on plane. And, but I don't have it right now. If I were able to get down there, I have friends I can stay with. I get a cheap rental car. I have ways to get to the parks. I just don't have the money at this point. I've got some medical bills that have come up the last several months. Our second car died, and we don't have the money to get it fixed. So there just isn't money. But if I were to get the money, I could go down in February, end of January or February, because I've got a time block there I could do it. I just don't know that I'm going to have the money for it. If I got down, I've got 2 different YouTubers down there I can do on-the-spot collaborations with, and I would love to. But I don't know if it's going to happen. So the dreaming part of me says, yes, absolutely. And then the reality hits and goes, well, yeah, sure, but probably not. So, okay. What do I do if a kid was scared of the character? I actually talk about that with my do's and don'ts in the thing. First off, don't force the kid up to see the character. Don't do it. Second, if it's a little one, like a 2, 3, 4-year-old that you're holding, put the adult between you and the character for the picture. So if Mickey is standing here, then you put the kid on this side of you. So that way you're in between. And kids will be a lot better with that. But don't force them. Let the character work with them. Pluto will get people to come up and pet its nose and stuff, but don't ever force a kid. Just let them be who they are. And if they want to wave at Mickey from a distance, let them. So, let's see. Discussion thread has been posted on the subreddit. Thank you, Jonas. Appreciate it. And let's see. What is the biggest advice I would give to some of my younger or even older fans in life? Biggest advice I can give for anybody is to go by the golden rule. Treat other people as you want to be treated. And if you do that, you won't have any problems. It's not treat other people the way you think they want to be treated or how you think they deserve to be treated, but how do you want to be treated, and then treat other people that way. And if you live according to that, you're going to do just fine. That's my biggest bit of advice for anybody, regardless of age. So, and with that, folks, I should probably wrap up and head out because I've been online now for an hour and 35 minutes. This is going to take forever for this thing to come up online. So, thank you so much. If you've got more questions, feel free to send them to me on Facebook. Hit my Facebook page. Go to Reddit and do that. Best way to get questions to me is through those two. And you may be surprised. They'll pop up in other videos, and I may even do a whole video based on your question. I'm constantly looking for inspiration and ideas, and so I'd love to hear them. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Thank you for entertaining me on a nice night where otherwise I wouldn't have much to do. Otherwise, I've been sitting here playing video games, and this has been much more fun. So, thank you, everybody. Have a great, wonderful evening, and I will catch you all later online.